Hello everyone, welcome to the Grace Gospel and Greek channel. Today I want to discuss the term widow as it relates to the Greek New Testament as well as the King James translation of the Bible. According to the King James translation of the New Testament, Paul writes in 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 14, "I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully." Based on the King James translation, the translators are suggesting that Paul advised for younger women to get married and have children. I have underlined the words younger women because I want to examine what the Greek text says regarding this verse. Looking at the Greek text, I have underlined and highlighted the word that the King James translators translated as younger women. In 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 14, the King James translators translated the Greek plural adjective neoteros as younger women. By itself, this Greek word as a Greek plural adjective means younger, which is itself a comparative form of the word young. Thus, in Greek, Paul essentially wrote, "Therefore, I wish that the younger, or I wish that the younger ones marry." However, who do the younger or the younger ones refer to specifically? The King James translators added the word women after younger in verse 14. In the Greek text, there is no noun that the adjective neoteros is connected to within verse 14 by itself. Grammatically, adjectives are words that describe nouns. Since there is no noun in verse 14 that neoteros is connected to, we need more context in order to clarify this matter. If we examine verse 11, 3 verses prior to verse 14, we will find more information. In verse 11, we find the same Greek plural adjective, neoteros, which again can be translated as younger. However, along with this adjective, we find a Greek plural noun, hieros, connected with the Greek adjective in verse 11. This Greek plural noun, hieros, can be translated as widows. Thus, in Greek, Paul is writing about younger widows in the context of these verses. The word neoteros in verse 14 is referring back to the antecedent in verse 11. In other words, the word younger in verse 14 refers to the younger widows of verse 11. This is an important idea because not all women are widows. Paul is not wishing for the younger women in general to marry, as the King James translators would suggest. Rather, based on the context, Paul is desiring that the younger widows marry. I will now compare the King James Version translation with that of the New International Version as well as the New King James Version. In this instance, the New International Version and the New King James Version are more accurate concerning the content found within Paul's epistle to Timothy, stating that the younger widows should marry rather than the younger women. I would like to conclude this presentation by quoting the Trinitarian Bible Society. As they mentioned, translations made since New Testament times must use words chosen by uninspired men to translate God's words. For this reason, no translation of the Word of God can have an absolute or definitive status. The final appeal must always be to the original languages in the traditional Hebrew and Greek texts. Thank you for watching this presentation. Please subscribe to this channel. It is my goal to upload a new video concerning the Greek New Testament every week. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.